Hello everybody and welcome to Written in Blood. My name is John and as you can see I'm actually filming from a new location today. Instead of filming in my man cave in front of my closet door, I decided to film here in my bedroom because that's where my main bookshelf is. So I thought, I see all these other people filming and they're right there in front of their books and everything. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I don't hardly ever do that. Every now and then you'll see my paperbacks back up here. But I thought I would try a new filming location. I'm still working on the lighting. If you don't like the lighting, let me know. Or if you think it can be improved, let me know. I believe what I need to do is I've got an overhead light up here. And behind the camera, I've got a lamp with an LED bulb. And that's what's probably putting off most of my light, okay? And I think what I need to do is put another one over to this side and try combining them and getting the overhead and the two, hopefully get some better light. So if the light is not 100% great, I apologize for that. And if you like it, let me know. And like I said, if you think I can do something to improve it other than what I've just mentioned, let me do that too. Anyway, on to the main crux of the video. And today is going to be my TBR from May 2020. Now, this is not counting the half-a-weenathon thing that's going on that I've already done a TBR video for. Because that's not going to last the entire month of May. Hopefully I'll be able to get through those books pretty quickly. But one thing I was noticing was I've got, I got 6 books here. And all of them are books that have been sent to me in exchange for an honest review. And I'm thinking, wow, I better get on with doing this. So, and not to mention, I've got another probably 12 books on my Kindle that I need to read for honest review. So that being said, I'm just going to present the hardcover or paperback editions, and not the Kindle ones. All right. So that being said, what I'm doing is I'm going to read them from the lowest page count down to the highest page count. And so with that, we begin with Scanlines, and this is by Todd Keisling. And I've read 2 books of Todd Keisling's already, which was oh my gosh, Devil's Creek. I cannot believe I forgot that. Devil's Creek and The Final Reconciliation, and I absolutely loved both of these. This one falls at just about 90 pages. It's real thin. It's a novella. He also sent me a nice little sticker. It was published by Dim Shores Publishing, and he sent me a nice little sticker and some artwork that has to do with this cover also. So let me read the synopsis to you, all right? Witness his despair. Play. In 1987, Congressman Benjamin Hardy III died by suicide on live television amidst accusations of political corruption. Years later, rumors of a recording surfaced among VHS trading groups and urban legend chat rooms, dubbed the Duncan tape after the deceased cameraman who attempted to sell the video. The rumors allege that anyone who watches the tape is driven to suicide. Or so the story goes. In truth, no one has ever seen the supposed Duncan tape, presumably because it doesn't exist. It's a ghost story perpetuated on the forums and chat rooms of the internet, another handful of bytes scattered across the information superhighway at blistering 56K modem speed. For Robbie and his friends, an urban legend is the last thing on their minds when a boring Friday night presents a chance to download porn. But the short clip they watch turns out to be something far more graphic and disturbing. And in the coming days, they'll learn even the most outlandish urban legends possess a shred of truth. So yeah, that is Scanlines by Todd Keisling. And that really sounds awesome. You guys, I've talked about The Final Reconciliation so much till my face turns blue because I just absolutely loved that book. And this sounds like something really right there along my not along the same lines, but right up my alley, so to speak. All right. Okay. And this one here is another one, I guess you would consider it a novella. It's by Ashton Macaulay. If you remember, I did a review of his book, Whiteout. I gave it 3 stars. I was very honest about my review and why I gave it the 3 stars, and he appreciated that and said, hey, can I send you a copy of my next book or my book, A Man of the Mountain? And, if you would review it. And I'm like, sure, I would love that. He also sent me a nice little bookmark with the whiteout cover logo or whatever across it, which I'm very thankful for. So yes, Ashton, thank you. And for Todd Kiesling for sending me the sticker and the artwork. Thank you for that too. So yeah, this is A Man of the Mountain. Now I thought this was going to be another Nick Ventnor adventure, and it's not. So let me go ahead and read the synopsis. And this one doesn't deal with the Yeti, it actually deals with Sasquatch. And you know how I feel about Sasquatch and Bigfoot and all that. Jonas is a recluse. He lives in the mountains alone, appreciative of the peace and solitude the wilderness has to offer. It also enables him to keep his unusual line of work a secret. At the behest of mysterious employers, Jonas has been instructed to wear a fur-covered suit and terrorize hikers at a local mountain range, all in an effort to maintain the mythical legend of Bigfoot. While typically uneventful, there are times when a hiker gets too close and the situation becomes messy. Jonas may not be bloodthirsty, but he always does what's necessary to uphold a certain level of discretion. After several After several high-profile accidents are written off by authorities as bear attacks, tabloid reporter Shirley Caldwell notices a pattern and sets out to unravel the truth. Convinced that the killings are the work of a legendary beast, she calls upon the monster hunting community for assistance. The events that transpire are like nothing she could have expected, and will send Jonas running for his life. So yeah, that is A Man of the Mountain. And that's by Ashton Macaulay. And he was nice enough to sign this also. Right here, it says, it might be short, but it's a wild ride. Happy squatching. And he says, thanks for taking the time, and again, signed it also. So yes, thank you for that, Ashton. Okay, next up. And for that one, was published by, A Man of the Mountain, was published by Aberrant Literature. I'm going to try to name these publishers also. All right, the next one, and this one is from Apex Publishing. And this is by Kurt Jones. I've talked about this once already, a long time ago, but this is Aether Christ. Edward Lawrence, I think it was Edward Lawrence, I think he said this is a really good book, so I'm looking forward to reading it. There's not really a synopsis for it. It says, the digital era analog is all but dead, but the rusted towers still strobe on the evening horizon. So very enigmatic synopsis, and really nothing in here to indicate what the book is about. So yeah, this is going to be kind of an interesting read. And it falls in at about 120 pages, 125 pages. And that's not counting the pages in the back that advertise other books. All right. Okay, another one I've talked about, and this is Greener Pastures. And this is by Michael Wehunt. Try to get the glare off of it. Sorry about that. That's going to be one of the problems with these shiny books is glare. And I believe these are short story collections. It says, they say there are always greener pastures. These stories consider the cost of that promise. And I believe this is illustrated in a little bit. Let me see. Flip. Not really. Well, no, not really. No, okay. But there's a lot of praise for this, his writing from other authors. Let me see what we have here. Paul Tremblay praises it. Gemma Files, author of Night Film, or Experimental Film. That was Marisha Peskel that did Night Film. Let's see, Steve Rosnick, Tim, John Langan, the author of The Fisherman, which I've still yet to read. I want to read that so bad. Let's see, Brian Evanson, author of A Collapse of Horses. Yeah, they sing this gentleman's praises, Michael Wehunt, quite a lot. So this is another one I'm definitely looking forward to reading. Okay, I got two more, all right? Again, and The Greener Pastures was also by Apex, as is this one here. Ration. Again, I apologize for the glare. And this is by Cody T. Luff. Cynthia and Imelda have always lived in the apartments, a world where every calorie is rationed and the girls who live there are forced to weigh their own hunger against the lives of the others. It's a world where the threat of the wet room and Mrs. Lyon lingers, and punishments are doled out both by the women who oversee them and the other girls. When Cynthia is wrongly accused of eating an A ration, her peers punish her harshly. In seeking revenge, she is forced from the only home she has ever known, out into the broader world with one of the women, Mrs. Gleno, who has tormented her for years. With her friend and Miss Gleno gone, Imelda is lost. Miss Tuttle forces her to step into Miss Gleno's shoes, taking on the role of a woman in charge of all the girls, the punishments, and the wet room. The new role feels wrong, especially as Miss Tuttle's behavior becomes more and more erratic. Imelda can turn her back on the other girls in the apartment, but how can she save them when she isn't sure how to save herself? Set in the future, Ration is an unflinching take on the ways society can both thrive and go wrong as the pressure to survive builds. So yeah, that is Ration. That's by Cody T. Luff. And finally, and this one is published by Silver Shamrock Publishing. They were nice enough to send me this book, like all the rest of these folks were, to send it to me for an honest review. And I'm talking about Dark Choir, and this is by Paul Malouche. Again, I apologize for the cover, for the glare. All right. And let me see the synopsis on this. I can't read all of it because it does have the not for resale thing across it, but I'll do my best. 6 victims, 6 perpetrators. A means for the scarred, abused, and powerless to take their revenge upon those who have wronged them, to make them pay the ultimate price for their crimes. Dan Hepworth is forced to return to his hometown of Scarsdale after his mother's death, where memories of fear and abuse still haunt him. His disabled sister, Lindsay, and her live-in nurse, Allison, still reside in his mother's isolated rural house, where Dan is to where Dan is to spend the next few days. I apologize for that. Let's see, for his mother's funeral. However, all is not right in Scarsdale. A ghostly robed man walks the hills around the town at night, and an unearthly singing had been heard coming from the derelict asylum across the valley. Worse still, retired nurses and ex-patients from the asylum are being targeted at night by unknown assailants, enduring psychological and physical attacks on their person and property, with the word choir scrawled across the walls of their homes after each attack. When Dan's sister, Lindsay, is visited by the robed apparition, and those around her are stalked by the violent assailants, Dan begins to uncover uncomfortable truths and dark secrets about the asylum and his former patients. Dan starts a perilous journey into the past as he gets close to finding out the identity of the nocturnal attackers, the abuse carried out on those too weak to defend themselves, and the reason why the ghostly singing can be heard from the asylum at night. Alone and isolated in the rundown former hospital, Dan will need to accept the mind-bending truth as he comes face to face with the Dark Choir. So yeah, that is Dark Choir, again by Paul Malouche. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I hope I'm not butchering it too badly. Okay. So yeah, that is going to do it for my May TBR. Like I said, these are all books that I was sent to in exchange for honest reviews. So I figured this is as good a month as any to do that. And then again, like I said, I've also got the Halloween 2020 TBR to do also. But that's 4 books. And they're relatively short or relatively small books. So yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching, and have a great evening. Thank you.